Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Making Richie Rich. So, I'm having a very productive day. This is my second video that I've made. I've just done one on the Amazon, the EBA, Amazon, the eBay drop shipping, and did an update on how that's been going. So, if you were interested in any of the Amazon and eBay stuff, go over and check that out. This video, however, is about the BF Bot Manager and some of the strats that I've been testing. I actually have one set up on my VPS, which I use solely just for testing strategies. Now, when you're testing strategies in simulation mode, it's definitely nowhere near 100% accurate, but it will give you an idea. It is different when you go live, and hence why usually on my other stuff I would go live and I would set them very low stakes just to test them. But this is one I've been running just on my VPS in simulation mode just to see how it goes and to get an idea. So what we'll do is we'll go over and see if, technically speaking, in simulation mode, did we make Richie rich? Let's find out. And welcome back. So there you go. We've got our BF Bot Manager up. And yes, it shows on £964 in profit. But that is for other strategies, which I'm not showing yet, that I will talk about in a new video. And I'll go into those in a bit more detail. It's something me and the guys have been working on in the Discord group and been testing it and testing it live as well. So you can see by the losses that's currently on the screen here that those other stats seem to be the best. Now, I don't know if it's just been the bad month or two where the favorite just doesn't like to win. Because this strategy for the longest time was going well. And I know there's been a few comments in the group or in some of the other videos is about, take it out once. But the whole point is I'm testing this for people so they don't make mistakes, so I can point there and say, hey, I am not telling you to do this. I'm just showing my findings. Bottom line is there's ups and there's downs, there's variance everywhere you talk about. It is also gambling in a sense because, well, no, not even in a sense, it is. You're putting money at risk and you're hoping on an outcome on a sporting event. It's basically gambling, but with these, we're trying to lower the risk. And my whole point in these ones was to see which ones performed best. Now, I wouldn't run all of these all at once. I wouldn't run 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all in one go. Because, it'll be up and down. There'll be in profit, better profit. So, first of all, we'll look at the dogs. The dogs was the original one I had started back in December, I think it was, and I did an update at the start of the month. And I think I'm just going to keep letting this run. There's more than 800 results. As you can see here, if I get my mouse up, it says 810, but I had to reset them a couple of times because the VPS was mucking up a bit, and I reset it. So that number went down. So now, I would dare say it's, probably nearly 2,000, actually more than 800. But we'll look at the all-time profit and loss because that wouldn't change. So on the 4 cycles of 32p, it is minus £26.96. So safe to say, if you were running just this strategy at the moment, you would be minus £27. Again, with a 5 cycle of 32 and £10 on the 6 cycle. Now, what I would say about the back to fave and the 4 cycles is it can recover really quick. I have seen it being minus 30 and then being plus 30. But the problem is with this, we want to keep increasing in profits, and at the minute it hasn't been. And I suppose, if you look at it over a couple of weeks, but if you look at it over a year, if it stays in profit, if it's something you can consistently run, that's what we're trying to find. Which is why I'm going to go to the back the favorite here on 7 cycles. £32, it's not a lot of profit. Not a lot of profit at all. But when you're just letting that run by itself, it's it's another income. If you have a couple of different strategies constantly just bringing you in a bit of money every single day, we'll look this up. We'll go to matched here. This will give us an idea of how many times it's lost £5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times it's matched the full 7 cycles. And out of those 10 times, it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 50-50. So on the 7 cycles, it has won half the time. So interesting. There you go. But where you're making money as well is like in the ones in between. And again, with this strategy, you're dependent on the odds. Because for example, if you get let me see if we got one. Yeah, there's one there. 2.5, we put £2.56 on, but it only won. It was on odds of 2 and only got you £2.66 back. Whereas you see there, that one was odds of 4 and got us a nice £7.68 profit. So parts of that's just down to luck. There is ways you can probably tweak this and go really into it. And one of the guys in my Discord group, we talked about looking at filtering it per race or per track and doing it that way. But sometimes it's just, for me, I think it's just down to the Betfair gods. Anything can happen. I've seen clear favourites win, and then I've seen like the 6th favourite who's like odds of like 20 winning it by a clear mile. It's, there's only so much stats. The same with football, same with horse racing. Yeah, a horse could come in and be the best horse by a clear mile, but still lose on the day. Same for football. Anybody out there who says, oh, but if you do this and that and research, yeah, it will maybe minimize it and bring it down to lower margin of, I was going to say error, is that right? Of like a win-loss ratio, you'll maybe win more, which is what you want. On this strategy, we're actually hoping that it'll lose us a couple more. But I suppose if we refine that down and you're able to, reduce the cycles down. But I had that set. I had each and every one of these set for a max of £5 loss. So on this one, you could still afford to go 7 cycles. You could reduce that down because it starts at 4p. You could reduce that down to starting at 1p, and so forth. It would go on. It wouldn't be as much as a £5 loss. It'd only be a couple of pound loss. Or you could go higher. So you could double that up. So you can go to 8p on the 7 cycles. It would have been £60 in profit. You'd be risking £10, I think it would be, off the top of my head. So let me look at a few of the other ones. The 8 cycle wasn't too bad. It's £9 in profit. Let's have a look, see how many times it went the full distance. So 5 times it's went the full distance. But look, it's actually lost every time it's went there. Which, yeah, it's strange. And I'm going to look at the 9 cycles then. 1, 2, well, not count the fight at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times there and only once. So 7 is the magic number on that one. I also decided to set this up on the horses, okay? To see how it would perform. The problem is with the horses, they're bigger races. Now, I didn't refine it down to see, minimum amount of horses in a race, maximum number of horses in a race, which again, you could probably go in and do. This was just a raw setup to get some kind of data, to have a look to see how they perform. Just raw. It's just basic cycles, and you're hoping that it wins, the favorite wins within its cycles. Okay, so not good at all. Nobody done well at all there, because every one of them was minus, and they're over 1,000 races there, yeah. Which is just crazy. So the 8 cycle one had the least amount of losses. How many times did it go to full distance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times went the full distance and only won twice. But at good odds, but still not enough. Again, that could probably come round. Worst case scenario, only £8 down there. If you're looking at all these reds, it looks worse than what it is, because one, you wouldn't really want to be running all these at once. I'm just having a wee look. Yeah. So 7 and 8 in the dogs. I wouldn't bother with the horses on this strategy, by the way things are going. It's going to have to go on a huge winning streak now to get this sort of back up. Like, the only one possible there would be the 8 cycle that could potentially come back. But you wouldn't risk it. So what you would have to do in there, no data is bad data. And any of the forums that I've been around and talking about, it's like, you can have a strategy that goes wrong, but what then you find out from that is, hey, can I reverse this? What happens if I, for instance, on this one, lay the favorite down on so many cycles? Would that work? Or you just reverse engineer it. You can just get so much out of what you're seeing, and it's just about tweaking it yourself. There's a couple of guys in my Discord, El Capitano, the captain of our ship. He's been in, he had tweaked around with these for ages, but December and January, he was originally minus £600 on other strats he'd done before, and then he started to back the favourite, and he tweaked them for his own, but he did his own tweaks, and he managed to bring back all his profit, or all his loss, and plus what he initially put in, and he was able to withdraw that. So the only thing he had in was his profit. But then, as he would say, December and January, it's just been shocking for the dogs. I don't know if it's the weather or, I am not in depth in the gambling world, so I don't know. I honestly don't know what each race means, how you get into those races, what's the qualifying stakes, how many, I don't know how it all works. So I'm sure there's people out there who, and if you're one of those people and you happen to come across my channel, please feel free to throw a message in there, because this is about me discovering as well, and I'm just showing what I find. It's not, I was never a gambler even before this started, so a lot of this stuff is still new to me, and I'm figuring it out. What I do understand is how the sort of bot and the things work. And there's a new guy joined our Discord, and big shout out to you. You've been a huge help, because he's been running bots for years. So he's a great wealth of knowledge there. He's been helping people. And by the way, anybody, if you are looking to join our Discord, it's usually only open to people who bought the strats. So if you're wanting to purchase any of these, just feel free, give me a shout, send me an email. You get, if you just buy one, it's a one-off fee, and you get access to any strategies you've seen in any of my videos, plus any future ones we work on. So if we're working on one in the Discord group, I usually just throw it into the chat to the guys, and they can upload it and try it themselves, and you will have the same access. And you'll have other guys there who'll be able to chat to you and help you, which they've been great. Everybody in the Discord has been phenomenal, and I was away there a lot over Christmas, and there's guys chipping in for new people who joined in and helping. So it's just great. It's nice to see we're all out to help each other, because it's not one against one here. We're against the system. We're trying to take their money. So yeah, if you're interested in that, throw me an email. We can get you at it. Right. So where am I at? Lost my train of thought. Yes. So back the favorite on the horses. Wouldn't advise it. I will keep this running on these strategies and to gather more data, and I will obviously update it maybe in a couple of weeks' time. And as I say, I'm going to be doing another video about the new strategies that we've been testing, and I'll show you how they've been performing. And we've been getting some exciting results, especially in the Discord. I think a few more weak tweaks on one of these systems could be really good. And also another update, a lot of people have been asking me a lot of emails about, what about football? What about football? What about football? And I found it really hard trying to program the bot on the football. I looked at a few ones, but I have hopefully partnered up with a company, and I'm going to be able to have some good strategies for the football. So keep an eye out on that. Hopefully have it for next week, all being well. But as soon as that comes along, I'll have a video up talking about it. But as I said, my new strategies will be getting shown as well next week, and they're very promising. So until the next time, I'll see you then. Bye now.